Hello, Damien.
Hi, how are you? Nice to
I'm
meet
really
you.
wonderful. Nice to meet you too.
My first question is, what can you tell us about the show, and more specifically about Nikki Reynard?
Um, I love the show. We started shooting it this year here in New York, and it's a very exciting, fun show that we get to shoot about spies and spycraft and spy games. And Nikki Reynard is leading this group of folks in the New York office in a really powerful
So,
position.
so you've previously worked on spy thrillers and crime thrillers in the past, such as
Mhm.
NCIS New Orleans and 24.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
how did those experiences help you develop Nikki, and how is Nikki different from the characters you've previously played?
I wasn't really thinking about those shows when I was kind of creating this dynamic here because I kind of look at everything individually. But it's true, I did work on 24 and NCIS. In fact, 24 was really the first television series I was regularly working on for a long time. Um, that was such a different show because, I didn't really work in the detective investigative factor. I played more in the storyline I carried in that show was more politically involved. So it was, it was a politician. So it was felt more like the West Wing, when I was working on that show. Um, but I loved that show very much. And I did love what I think I learned from working on that show was I did like working on the episodic dynamic. I think before that, I was really doing a lot of theater and some, really avant-garde independent films, I felt really excited about. But um, I think, so no doubt this character is different from that. But, in NCIS, it was a little more of a, kind of they call them procedurals, where they kind of weekly have these episodes and that was similar in that respect. And that certainly was a detective as well. But this character has kind of a La Femme Nikita backstory, um, which is which is kind of what I draw on from where she's kind of come from. That allows us to live more in that kind of secret world of spy thriller than as compared to maybe the other projects.
So, now that you mentioned episodic dynamic, this show has a real Dick Wolf feeling to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so, can you tell us a bit? I mean, he's an icon of TV at this point. What was it like
He
to work
really
on?
is. You know, um, Dick has so many shows, and they have historically been so successful. So I think we would be very lucky to follow that standard that he has um, kind of become famous for. I I joined this show a little bit later. They had already started shooting it a little bit, and they were working some things out, and then they invited me to come and join after they'd already begun a little bit. So I didn't have the pleasure of meeting Dick or working with him directly at this time, but maybe I will as the seasons come. I'll have a lot of questions for him.
Hopefully, then. um, so espionage, the CIA, all this, subject. It's always been so popular, both on television and movies. What is it, do you think, that attracts audiences to this particular subject?
Oh, I'm sure I'm going to say exactly what you also was something you think too, probably. But this is such a mystery to us, us regular folks who are living our lives, how the world is running in these secret societies and organizations. What are they doing, And and I think this show, particularly CIA, has a very and a lot of the Dick Wolf shows, kind of have a throwback old school American television quality, and this show definitely does, in that it's a very highly entertaining fantasy idea of the, best case, most virtuous way of, these people existing. There's many ways you can imagine these people existing, from maybe a more documentary style thing that we're not doing to this very fantasy spycraft world that's exciting, like James Bond was or Remington Steele was or something. So I think that's why people are interested, because we just don't know. It's such a mystery.
Considering it's such a mystery, when you were developing the character, when you're getting ready for the role, were you able to speak to anyone that might know about these subjects, or was it based on what you hoped or thought?
You know, I mean, there are some folks that I think the writers' room consults with, let's say, and perhaps there's some value in that. But I really, like I said, there's this fantasy element to kind of what we're doing. It's so loosely connected to, maybe the ins and outs of these intelligence agencies. So I really go back to, when I'm thinking about it, I really go back to the fantastical spy stories that are a little more imaginative when I look at this project.
So my last question, this is a weird one, so please bear with me. But if you could go back in time and play any role that's ever been played, what role do you think you'd play and why?
Oh, that's easy. I would play Cleopatra because she's the best character. She's wild and powerful and sensual and feminine and masculine, and there's so much to that character. So I think many characters, to be honest, but that's the one that comes to mind.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time and congratulations on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure speaking with you, Damien.
Have a nice day. Bye.